Ladies and gentlemen, today is a special video today because we are going to be ranking every single Call of Duty TREYARCH Zombies map from worst to best in a tier list today. So if you guys take a look at this right now, we got all these maps just labeled right here. They're all in order of how they were released. There's some catch to it though. So for example, I forgot to adjust one. So we're just going to put the Giant down there because we're going to mix Riese and the Giant together because this is what I always usually do. And then TranZit counts as one map, which is why I put the sub maps, Bus Depot, Farm, and Town down here. And then another thing, we are not going to be ranking the Black Ops 6 maps yet, because I will do that once the DLC season's over, and then we'll re-rank them together. So we're just going to be doing pretty much just World at War through Cold War today. No Vanguard, because Vanguard fucking sucks. So let's get straight into this right now. I'm also listening to my Spotify right now, so if you guys want to take a look at what song I'm listening to, I mean, the video's a little bit creepy, but it's The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here by Alice in Chains. So yeah, I'm just gonna adjust this real quick before we get started, but yeah, so pretty much that's how it's gonna go. We're just gonna rank these how I feel. This is a subjective opinion, so if you guys don't like my opinion, then go fuck yourselves. I'm kidding. No, don't do that. But yeah, so let's get straight into this right now. So what I always like to do is I like to put 5 maps in the S tier category, and I also like to put 5 maps in the F tier category, and then just go from there pretty much. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. So starting it off, we are gonna start with Nacht der Untoten, so the very first zombies map ever created. Nacht's a very replayable map in certain cases. However, in World at War, the rounds go by super slow. It can get boring after a bit, and it's fucking like, it's a little creepy. Like, at the intro cutscene of the map is very creepy. Not really much I need to say about Nacht, and also I guess another thing is that my opinions and subjective opinions and whatnot is going to be either quick or it's going to be a rant. So just be prepared for either of those. For example, I don't even have enough to say about Nacht right now, so I'm honestly kind of on the edge of where I want to put this. You know, I think I'm going to give it, I don't want to do high D. I'm going to put it in C tier. Nacht is going to the C tier. So, yeah, I really got nothing else to say about Nacht, but I did a video with Caleb on this like 2 years ago, and I'm pretty sure my opinion's probably going to be very similar to what I'm going to rank this off of. So, yeah, just be prepared for that. Verrückt is next. So Verrückt, obviously the Insane Asylum, that's in World at War. One of the most tight zombies maps that you could ever play, and also one of the scariest. You're in an abandoned asylum. It introduced perks, got a power system, a couple traps. Pretty much all you need for just a expanded level of bare bones survival. Verrückt, on the Black Ops 1 version, it has the Winter's Howl, which is that's disgusting. Nice. But anyways, Verrückt also has the Wunderwaffe in the Black Ops 3 version. I believe it might in the Black Ops 1 version too, but I don't quite remember. So not really much to say about this one either. It's one of the first maps that came out. It's pretty much just like Nacht's kind of like younger brother in a sense. So just because of that, I'm gonna put it just above Nacht and C tier. I'm also gonna be like ranking the maps kind of like where they should be placed in the tier. So for example, Verrückt is right here in C tier, which, hold on, okay, there we go. Yeah, so that's going to be a version of how I'm going to rank this map, rank these maps. So just bear with me here. All right, next one is Shinonuma. I don't really have much to say about this at all. I mean, this map introduced the Wunderwaffe, introduced Hellhounds as a mini boss. The random perk spawns was a new concept. Just another version of bare bones survival in World at War. No pack-a-punch yet. If you think about like Zombies Chronicles, everything just completely changes when you have gobble guns, and that's why Shinonuma is probably one of my most replayed Zombies Chronicles maps. But even then, I don't even really know where I should put this. I think I might just go above, well, not Moon. Whoa, I don't want to do Moon yet. Hold on, let's go back down there. All right, we're gonna put it above. No, we want, yeah, there we go, above Verrückt. A lot of people shit on Shin Onuma for whatever fucking reason they want. But I think it's an okay map. I think it's a map that you can get better at zombies with. It's a zombies map that can be replayable. Again, subjective opinion. Okay, next up we have Riese. So Riese, if Riese in your like best zombies maps from worst to best, or like your top 10 zombies maps, if it's not in your top 10, to be honest, you don't know zombies, which is why it's going in A tier. So Riese introduced Pack-a-Punch, pretty much just gave a glimpse at what the innovation, like what the plan was for the innovation, basically. So got a couple wonder weapons, got monkey bombs. Monkey bombs were introduced on there. Obviously the Pack-a-Punch system, like I already mentioned. Just starting the story with these the Ultimate crew, pretty much. And Riese is basically just like this counter, or this like big catalyst for a bunch of different parts of the storyline. And for that reason, it's going to be going in A tier. Again, like a lot of these maps, it's kind of hard to think of what to say about it because I don't have like a script or anything. Because if I had like maybe a script like right here, like just on the side of my screen, and I was looking at it back and forth and figuring out what to say for each map, it'd probably be a lot easier. But I'm just thinking of this stuff off the top of my head. So yeah, again, bear with me here. Next up is Kino der Toten. Okay, this is probably the most overrated zombies map ever. But there's a lot of good things about it. I mean, the stage training spot is probably one of the most goated training spots of all time, undoubtedly. Thunder Gun was introduced on there, and Thunder Gun's probably the most OP wonder weapon in all of zombies, maybe next to the Apothicon Servant. Yeah, Hellhounds are back. Nova Crawlers are introduced. Those things fucking suck, but they're a part of the map, and we can't really do much about it. Pack-a-Punch returns. Yeah, and there's a lot of different little hidden side Easter eggs that you can really do in this map. However, I will say, if this map did have a main Easter egg, everybody would glaze the fuck out of it. I'm just saying. But, yeah, I don't really know where I want to put this. I mean, like, sorry, I'm just adjusting on Spotify here real quick. But yeah, I don't know where exactly I want to put this. I might put it under Shin Onuma, to be honest, because Kino is not one of my favorites of all time, but people just glaze it hella, which is why it's so overrated. So, overrated and overplayed. Kino's going in C tier. Don't give a fuck what y'all say. Next up, we have 5. So, people dog on 5 a lot, too. Which I don't understand, really, because actually 5, I think, is a pretty fun map, especially if you have multiple players in your game. I do like a bunch of other maps over this, but if I were to put it subjectively somewhere, 5 would go probably top of C tier. There we go. There's a lot of different, like, cool stuff in it. I mean, the setting for the map is absolutely amazing. You got it inside the Pentagon, and you play as JFK, Fidel Castro, Robert McNamara, and Richard Nixon. So it's a nice star-studded cast. You got the Pentagon Thief, who comes in and steals your weapons. If you kill it before it touches you, you get a bonfire sale, which makes the Pack-a-Punch only $1,000, which is a fucking huge-ass discount if you ask me. But if he steals your weapon and then you kill him, you get your weapon back, and then you also get a max ammo and a fire sale. I believe that's what it is. But yeah, so again, nothing much to say about 5 here. It's a very tight map in certain spots. And it's weird, like, how scary the map kind of is, too. Because once you go down to, like, the laboratory, there's just blood absolutely everywhere. So, for that reason, yeah, 5's going to stick in C tier for now. Alright, so we are probably going to start... We might put this in B tier just immediately, just by looking at it for Ascension. I think it might go to the bottom of B tier, but we'll see kind of how this list kind of goes. Ascension, it's a unique way to get Pack-a-Punch. You have to take the 3 lunar landers, and you have to take them back to spawn. The space monkeys are really annoying, I will say that, because you pretty much can't get more than like 2 perks in this map. You can maybe get Jug and Quick Revive, and that's like probably the best you're going to survive. That's your best case. Unless you're doing like a starting room challenge, and you can run Perkaholic as much as you want, because they're only going to go after Quick Revive. But, yeah, Space Monkeys are annoying. Ascension's really easy in Black Ops 1 for some reason. It's just, like, probably the most chill zombies experience you could probably do. For that reason, Oh, it also has the Thunder Gun. I can't forget about the Thunder Gun and the Gersh devices. So they introduced Gersh devices on this map, which if you guys don't know what a Gersh device is, it's a big like little like a clamp device almost like that, and you just throw it and then it summons a black hole and sucks every zombie in pretty much. So yeah, a lot of innovative stuff here in Ascension, which I think I'll probably put in B tier so far. Not one of my favorites. Maybe if you asked me before like Black Ops 4 came out, it'd probably be one of my favorites, but for now it's going to B tier. And so next up we have is Call of the Dead. Honestly, probably one of the most closest to perfect maps in all of Zombies when it comes to the Black Ops 1 engine. It takes place in Siberia. It is a star-studded cast. You got Danny Trejo, Michael Rooker, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Robert Englund all playing 4 iconic horror roles. So they're all in there, and then George Romero is the boss, which RIP George Romero. But that guy's fucking annoying in this map, dude. Like, he just follows you around, mumbles, just says a bunch of shit, tries to shit talk you, and then when you shoot him or you attack him, he gets angry at you, and then when he swings at you and hits you, he also gets angry. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Your only way of slowing George down is pretty much just going into the water, and then he'll just go back to his normal pace. It has, honestly, I think the Scavenger is a pretty good wonder weapon, but the VR11 is by far probably the worst wonder weapon in all of Zombies. So there's a lot of good things about Call of the Dead, actually, and there's a couple flaws. And I think for that reason, I think I might put Call of the Dead. Ooh, okay, wait, I gotta think about this real quick. I don't know if I want to put 6 maps in S tier or if I want to put just 5. I think what I'm going off right here is I might put 6 in S tier. Yeah, we'll do that. And then just because of that, we're putting Call of the Dead A tier. Boom. Yeah, okay, so I know exactly what I'm doing for my S tier. So once we get to those specific maps, then we'll rank them. But yeah, we got Call of the Dead. Next up is Shangri-La. Shangri-La is honestly probably my favorite map in Chronicles, which is really weird to say. It's very beautiful. It has a very easy pack-a-punch process. You just find, if you're a multiplayer, you just find these pillars that are on the, or not these pillars, but these little like pressure plates. You step on them with another teammate stepping on another one, and then it just opens pack-a-punch at the spawn. The monkeys, the little monkeys that steal your power-ups, and they cycle them through and they change the power-up when they get the chance to. Those are kind of a nice addition because there is a slight chance you can get a free perk out of it. And I will say the other mini-boss zombies, like the Napalm Zombie and the Shrieker Zombie, not the worst thing in the world, but not the best thing in the world either. Shang also has a really good Easter egg. Eclipse mode is pretty nice. I really like the Eclipse mode in Black Ops 3. It's kind of funny because I've actually never done the Shangri-La Easter egg, or I never beat it. I've tried doing it once and then I just gave up for no reason. But yeah, because of that, I think a lot of you are gonna hate me for this. I think Shang, not above Darius. I think Shang goes in between Darius and Call of the Dead and A tier. I played Shangri-La a lot more than Call of the Dead, and it just never gets old to me. I think I can just go back to that map and just have a chill time and just play and just, yeah, pretty much just knock it out of the park whenever I want to. Okay, so the next one is Moon. So Moon is probably the biggest hit or miss map in all of Zombies. There's a lot of good things about it that people like. There's a lot of bad things about it. I personally love Moon, and it's going in the top. Ooh, hold on. Top of A tier for right now. So yeah, I love Moon. I absolutely love Moon. The anti-gravity can get a little bit disappointing because you might just toss yourself into like a horde of zombies by accident and you kind of just get pissed at the end of it, but it's not the biggest I wouldn't say it's the biggest problem in this map. There's a lot of good things about it. I do like how you spawn in Area 51 and Pack-a-Punch is already there, and a bunch of zombies are just running, and you can just get a shit ton of points off of it. And then there's a 50-50 chance it's either going to be Speed Cola or Juggernog in the spawn, or like in the Area 51 area. The only downside about that is if you're trying to get Jug, and you get Jug as soon as you spawn in Area 51, you have to go back to Area 51 twice because Speed Cola and Juggernog rotate. That's one of the biggest flaws in this map. I love the zap guns and the wave gun. That is probably one of the best wonder weapons of all time. It's really fun to use. The excavators can get annoying. I do say, like, every single time I've tried to go back through the tunnels, they can get really annoying once they're just there and they just block a path. At one point, you probably can't even get there unless you have, like, anywhere but here in Black Ops 3 or something like that. I will say Black Ops 1 Moon is pretty ass, but Black Ops 3 Moon is so much fun. I just love Moon. Moon has by far one of the best Easter eggs in all of zombies. I would say top 3. Okay, well, enough glazing about Moon. Okay, I'm done with this, but yeah, so we're just gonna move on here real quick. But TranZit. This isn't just, this is subjective, but this isn't, if we're referring to multiplayer, this would be ranked differently. If we're referring to just multiplayer, but if it's solo, fuck this map. Like, there's no other. I don't even need to explain this, y'all. So yeah, TranZit's going in F tier. I don't even want to fucking explain this. Okay, next up, Nuketown Zombies. Now, I could go on an absolute rant about why this deserves a fucking F tier spot. Random perk spawns is the biggest thing. Although this map is actually pretty good for casual players and can help people get better at zombies, it's kind of like a Reese in a sense, but a more complicated perk system. So around like every 5 rounds or so, there's a new perk or pack-a-punch that drops from the sky. You don't know if you're going to get Juggernog by round 5 or possibly round 25. For that reason, that's why it kind of juggles between being easy and being difficult. But yeah, like I said earlier, it's a good map for casual players, but if you're not playing casually and you get fucked to where Juggernog is spawning very, very later in the rounds, yeah, no, you're pretty much fucked. Unless you have the Rega Mark II or something like that, then I guess that kind of helps a bit. Moving on. Okay, Die Rise. Okay, this is another map I really don't have to explain why it's an F tier. Fall damage. Fall damage. Yeah. Okay, Mob of the Dead. If you guys know me on this channel, you know that Mob of the Dead is a definite S tier map. If you don't think Mob of the Dead is an S tier map, you don't know zombies. It is almost like a movie within a map. That's what most zombies YouTubers describe it, and most of the community describes it. It is voiced by real actors in real life, voice actors too. Like, I guess you can intertwine them both. Probably the greatest setting for a map. It's in Purgatory on Alcatraz Island in the prison. Like, what the fuck? You can't get any better than that when it comes to a setting, unless you're talking about 5. Then maybe they can go neck and neck. The Easter egg is wonderful. There's a couple different endings to the Easter egg that you can always cycle through if you want to. Yeah, it's just a big movie within a map. You fly a plane to the Golden Gate Bridge and you crash, and then the escape plan just completely fails, and then you die, and then you reset the cycle again. Yeah, I could go on and on about Mob of the Dead pretty much any day. Brutus is a fantastic boss. I love Brutus. I do like the Afterlife system. The Afterlife system is one of the coolest things ever to be introduced into zombies. And the Blundergat is one of the coolest wonder weapons I've ever seen. Speaking of wonder weapons, you guys want me to rank every single wonder weapon in zombies too? Like, I'd be totally down to do that if you ask me. I would totally be down to do it. So, but yeah, Mob of the Dead is my favorite map in all of zombies, hands down. No explanation about it. Or no further explanation, I should say. Alright. Alright. Next one is Buried. Buried is a very easy map. If you've never played Buried before, it takes place in an old western town. There's a lot of little side things that you can do just to gain points, just to open up the map super quickly. And also, the bank system kind of just ruins the fundamentals of the map. The witches from Buried are kind of a pain in the ass because they steal your money, but in the end they give you a free perk, so that kind of helps it out a bit. To get to Pack-a-Punch, you have to go through the witch's house and go through the maze and go to the back, and Pack-a-Punch is hidden in this like little well, kind of. Buried's a really interesting map. I think people shit on Buried a lot more. I think it is the best out of these Victus maps. So Victus are referring to TranZit and Die Rise and Buried. Buried's definitely the best out of those 3. I think for that reason, interesting. I want to put Buried probably B tier, like bottom of B tier. I like Ascension more than Buried, but that's for a couple other reasons that I might explain another day. I just don't know yet. Okay. If you guys also know me on this channel, I love Origins. Origins used to be my favorite map of all time, my #1 favorite map. Funnily enough, Mob of the Dead was actually like my favorite map of all time at first, and then it went to Origins because I played Origins a lot, started to play it a lot more than Mob of the Dead, and then now it's back to Mob of the Dead. But Origins is an indeed S tier map. You can't go wrong with Origins. The Easter egg can be a little tedious on Black Ops 2, but if you're Black Ops 3 makes everything so much easier with Gobblegums, and yeah, it's just crazy, man. The 4 staffs are great wonder weapons. You got the Maxis drone. You got a couple like little side Easter eggs that's just literally gonna make you overpowered in this map. The Panzer was introduced. I love the 3 robots that just go across the map, and it kind of gives you like a little challenge, and it gets a process to the Easter egg. Yeah, I could go on and on about Origins. The crazy place is fucking beautiful. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That is one of the coolest parts of the map. But yeah, the Origins, you can't go wrong with a map like Origins. It's an indeed S tier map. And again, if you don't think it's an S tier map, you don't know zombies. Which is, we're gonna go up to Shadows of Evil, which a lot of people dog on Shadows of Evil too, because of the elementals. If you guys don't know what the elementals are, it's the meatball bosses on the map, the ones that roll. They're kind of like raps from multiplayer in Black Ops 3. That's like one of the biggest things that people just hated about Shadows of Evil, but it is criminally underrated in my honest opinion. But even being underrated, it's still, in my opinion, it gets an S tier vote. It introduced the most busted wonder weapon of all time, the Apothecon Servant. If you have the Apothecon Servant, you can't die. If you die with the Apothecon Servant, you're just bad at zombies. That wonder weapon is going to save you in any scenario possible. Shadows of the Easter egg is pretty easy. I got it done. I think my fastest run was around 40 minutes solo. You can't beat it on solo, by the way. It's a multiplayer based Easter egg, but when solo speedrunners do it, they just beat the boss. And then once the boss completely goes away, then they stop their time. That's what speedrunners do. That's what I did like a few weeks ago or something like that. And I ended up getting like mid-40s. The Easter egg is super easy. The new specialist weapon that they have for it, which is the Apothecon Sword, that is amazing too, and you can upgrade it. The Margwa, I'm just gonna say this, y'all. The Margwa is the best mini boss in all of zombies. Each head you kill, you get 500 points. So 1,500 points if you kill just a single Margwa. How amazing is that? Like if you had double points on, you'd be getting 3,000 points out of that fucker. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that because it makes me smile just to see how much I love Shadows of Evil. Okay. Don't even need to explain why this is an S tier map, but this is going in between Origins and Shadows. DE, the bows are amazing. The Easter egg is super simple. The very first boss fight, or like I guess you could say like it's actually not the very first boss fight. Shadows was. But the boss fight was absolutely so much fun, and the mechanics of trying to beat it is so easy. I already mentioned the bows. The Ragnaroks were introduced on this map, which is a definite savior if you don't have like any other like weapons with ammo in it. Why can't I think a lot about Shadows or Horizon Rock right now? I mean, Pack-a-Punch system is pretty simple. You just teleport the Pack-a-Punch parts to a certain location. I think it just always ends up on the rocket pad first. Panzers come back. Panzers they have like the little, the shot grenade like motion thing. So it's kind of like an upgraded Panzer, you know? It doesn't have the grappling hook. There's an Easter egg where you can turn all zombies into skeletons, which is kind of terrifying, if you ask me. Der Eisendrache is it's innovative. It's a mix of 3 maps the way I look at it. It's a mix of Origins, Mob of the Dead, and Moon. Moon because of the Easter egg. Mob because of the 3 dragon heads that you have to fill up to get the bow. Oh, I forgot to mention the wolf heads that get the Hell's Retriever on Mob of the Dead, and you can upgrade to the Redeemer. But anyways, so Mob of the Dead because of the dragon heads, and then Origins because of the 4 elemental bows. copying kind of like the 4 elemental stabs. So it's a mix of, I think it's a mix of 3 different maps, and I think that's why I like it so much, because you really can't, again, you can't go wrong with a map like Der Eisendrache. I feel like this is personal bias, if obviously, but I think I might have the most realistic tier list. Actually, no, that's a total lie. That is a total lie, because once we get to the Cold War maps, it's gonna change. So I'm just gonna shut up, and we're gonna continue ranking this. Zetsubo. I used to despise this map when it first came out, but I haven't experienced a single glitch in this map at all. A lot of people dog on Zetsubo, but there's a lot of cool things in it. Like, I mean, the boss fight, the Tokyo boss fight is very underwhelming, although the spider boss fight is pretty sick. Yeah, the KT4 is kind of just like an off-brand liquefier. It kind of just works as the same kind of function without the sliding effect. The Thrashers are really annoying, and if you kill a Thrasher, you don't get shit out of it. The gas masks are helpful when you're going through the spores and whatnot, and you do need a gas mask to go down to the Tokyo boss fight. You can have an electric shield, which is kind of sick. And there's a lot of other creepy Easter eggs in there. Like the other like week, I tried doing the doppelganger Easter egg with Caleb just to see if I can actually get it to work. I couldn't get it to work, but obviously the Easter egg, there's a certain way to get it to work. And yeah, Zetsubo can be very scary too, I gotta say that. But there's a lot of like small little things that make the map so much fun. But yeah, so we're just gonna put Zetsubo. Oh damn, actually, I was really thinking about putting it in A tier, but I'm not gonna do that. That makes no sense. I think I'll put it under Buried in B tier. I love Zetsubo. I love all Black Ops 3 maps. I think they're all fun. I think they're all fun in their own way, which is why you probably won't see one below a B or C tier by the time I get all these Black Ops 3 ones done. Okay, so Garad Krovi is the next one, and this is another definition of a close to perfect map in all of Zombies, and that's why it's going in S tier. You're in Stalingrad. You're in the middle of a gigantic war with dragons. That is something that I never thought would end up going into Zombies, is fucking dragons. It had the Rega Mark III, which is like, I think it's named something completely different. It doesn't even, it has a ray gun effect, and it has like kind of like almost like a black hole kind of effect that you can add to it. So there's that. They added Manglers, which Manglers are a pretty easy boss to kill, and they're not very intimidating. Valkyrie drones kind of piss me off, but other than that, I mean, the Gauntlet of Siegfried, which is the specialist weapon in this map, is fucking amazing. The boss fight, there's 2 boss fights in this map. There is the dragon, and then you fight Nikolai in a mech suit. Probably one of the best boss fights in all of Zombies, hands down. Really, I can't think of a single bad thing about Garad, so I'm gonna keep it over at bottom of S tier for right now. Oh my god, my voice is like starting to hurt when I'm trying to like explain all of this. Yeah, it's just I love ranking stuff. I love having a diverse opinion about it. I love speaking, I guess you could say. Yeah. Anyways, we're just gonna move on to Revelations. Revelations was my most played map in Zombies for like a year at one point, because there's a lot of different things that you could do to just survive a long ass time. Like, you have the Thunder Gun and the Apothecon Servant in the same map, and when you have both of those weapons together, you are pretty much unstoppable unless you're stupid. There really isn't anything new about this map, unless you're considering like the spawn area and the Apothecon, inside the Apothecon. Those are the only 2 new maps, and the boss fight arena, obviously. Everything else is just basically maps within a map. So obviously there's like Kino's in it, Varuk's in it, Noct is in it, Shang is in it, Der Eisendrache's in it, like, you know, Origins, Mob of the Dead. All of those maps are just intertwined into this one big map. And I was hoping we would get like a fucking amazing map with a big ass boss fight, but they repeated practically the same boss fight from Shadows of Evil. So there is a lot of flaws that this map has, but there's a lot of good things that this map has. And I think for that reason, I think if they had a different boss fight, this might be an S tier, but I'm gonna put it bottom of A tier. I have so much fun playing Revelations every time I play it. The starting room was probably the easiest challenge you could ever do on this map. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got at this point. It's really hard to explain stuff just off the top of my head. I feel like I need a script next time. But yeah. Okay, it looks like we're heading into the Black Ops 4 maps at this point. And then after Black Ops 4, we got Cold War, and then there's no Vanguard, and then there's BO6, which we're not going to rank those. 9. 9 is probably going best to A tier. 9 is almost an S tier map. Boss fight is fantastic. You fight 2 gigantic fucking elephants in a gladiator arena. Speaking of which, the gladiator arena it's an amazing setting for zombies. You can't, I know I've said this like a lot in this video already, but you can't go wrong with that. The marauders and the axe thrower guys, what do you call those? Not barbarians. I don't think they're called barbarians, right? Or are they just called like I'm just gonna call them the giant armored zombies. So the giant armored zombie, and then the marauders, which are the ones that jump at you and try to claw you. Those are great bosses. The Blightfather is a fucking annoying ass boss. I'm just gonna say that right now. I despise the Blightfather so much, dude. But there's really nothing super bad about this map that I can think of off the top of my head. Some of the Easter egg steps are really tedious, which Black Ops 4, they try to make it all tedious for you. That's pretty much how it was compared to BO3. I think most of these Black Ops 4 maps are just super flawed by Black Ops 4's shitty mechanics, which I think 9 at top of A tier, I think is probably a really great spot if you're asking me personally. So yeah, we're just going to keep it like that. Next up we have, oh my god, Voyage of Despair. I'm glad I beat the Easter egg on this map because I never have to play this map ever again. It kind of sucks to put this down where it's going to be at because it has so much potential. But you can't go anywhere else but an F or D tier map when it comes to Voyage of Despair. Voyage, it takes place on the Titanic, which is a beautiful setting for a map, by the way. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty good looking map. There's a lot of stuff that they could have done with this map that they never ended up doing. Like, they could have made it so they stopped the Titanic from sinking. That was one of the biggest things that people wanted to happen with this map, and they didn't do that. Which, storyline purposes, obviously it's okay, but like just community wise, we wish it happened. The Kraken's a little bit of kind of a shitty wonder weapon if you're asking me. It's just like a big giant shotgun. It kind of helps sometimes against like those little giant like lava bosses. I forgot what those things are called. Like, you know, the guys are like on fire, or they have like lava inside of them, and they have like a giant axe, and they just like try to jog at you, run at you. Yeah, it's those guys. Anyways, I think Voyage overall, it's just too fucking big of a map too. Like, there's so many different aspects of the map that you have to go through, and that's what makes it really challenging. The Easter egg pisses me the fuck off. Yeah, again, I'm just gonna say, like, I'm never gonna do the Easter egg ever again. The only thing good about it is probably the boss fight. That's about it. So yeah, nothing else you could say about it. All right, we are getting into our first D tier map. And that is Blood of the Dead. And the reason why it's down here, it's like it's pretty much going to be everybody's tier list of why Blood of the Dead's just all the way at the bottom. It took everything that we love about Mob of the Dead, and they twisted it and fucked it pretty much. So you can't go to the Golden Gate Bridge anymore, which blows. The laboratory, or that other like courtyard area that they added in Blood of the Dead, that wasn't there in Mob, probably the most unnecessary area you could probably never go back to, because once you leave that area, you never go back to it at all, unless you're going to go fill up a dog head, or you're going to make it buildable, or you're going to get perks. That's pretty much it. Or even the mystery box. That is probably the most pointless area. So once you get into the prison, you're pretty much just staying there for the rest of the game, and everything in the prison looks pretty much the same. The Easter egg is by far the stupidest Easter egg I have ever done. There is a step in the Easter egg where you have to take a bird, or you have to go around the map and you have to find a bird, like a bird that's in like an afterlife mode bird. I'll say that, like, for example. And there's 42 spawn locations. 42 spawn locations. That's fucking insane, dude. I'm honestly surprised after that people even beat the Easter egg, but I mean, there's a lot of people by this point that have already beat it. I do like the new Magma Gat variant of the Blunder Gat. It's pretty sweet. The Acid Gat seems like it just got fucking nerfed, and everybody just uses the Magma Gat nowadays. So I guess that's one of the few pluses. The Warden or Brutus is just the same, practically. Boss fight is very underwhelming. The Easter egg ending cutscene. The only thing that this map got fucking amazingly right was the storyline. That's it. Everything else was so flawed. Alright, next up, we have Classified. So, Classified is the remastered version of 5. And it pretty much, everything on this map is practically the same as 5. There's another bonus area, and then the Pack-a-Punch process is pretty much the same exact thing. And then once you get all the Pack-a-Punch parts, you build the platform, and you have to go to the dead center of the war room, and you have to place that down, and it makes the teleporter move from that little like central spot to the dead center of like that yellow circle, that yellow pentagon. And then you go to Area 51 for Pack-a-Punch. That's okay. My biggest concern, or my biggest thing with this map, is that they took out the Pentagon Thief and replaced him with Hellhounds. How many times are we going to get Hellhounds in a COD Zombies map? A lot of people would much rather have the Pentagon Thief than the Hellhounds. I am telling you this right now. Another good thing they did bring it back was the bonfire sale. So if you stay in Area 51 for, I want to say about like 3 to 5 full rounds, I think, there's this little section of the map that just opens up, and then it spawns a max ammo, and I think it's a max ammo. Yeah, max ammo and a bonfire sale, and you can collect those two, and then Pack-a-Punch is 1,000 points. So that's pretty fun. They did buff the Winter's Howl, but it's still not that good. I got nothing else to say. We're just gonna put that there. It's gonna be right. 5 is the superior version, 100%. No questions asked. Okay, my next map on this list is going to be Dead of the Night. You guys are gonna flip the fuck out of where I'm gonna put this map. I'm putting it in top of B tier, dude. I can't wait to see what comments you guys put down below about why Dead of the Night should be like a bottom tier map. It is the least marketed zombies map in history. I don't know if you guys ever knew that. Pretty much when this map came out, nobody knew existed. The Easter egg in this map, I think, is personally kind of fun. The werewolf is a cool boss. It's not hard to kill. It's not the most annoying thing in the world. He does follow you like every other enemy does, kind of like George Romero, but he's a little quicker. He's not a pain in the ass. What are a pain in the asses, though, are fucking the Nosferatus, like the little vampire dudes that come around, because when they hit you, they delay your health regeneration. That's the only kind of like thing I'm on the edge about right now. And there's also even a red Nosferatu, which basically just jumps on your face and basically just tries to kiss rape you. Yeah, that's a problem too. And they're a little bit harder to kill, but again, not the worst thing in the world. But I can understand why people hate this map because of those guys. Alistair's Folly is a pretty good wonder weapon. The upgrade process for it's pretty simple, nothing too difficult. Pretty much this map is just like building things. That's like what most of the Easter egg was, at least. It was just building things. The Pack-a-Punch process is not hard. You just get the 3 tuning forks, and then you go to the central like gate area that's outside of the map, and then you open it up. You spawn a werewolf, and at the very bottom there's Pack-a-Punch. So nothing too out of the ordinary with this map. But I do think I have a lot of fun playing Dead of the Night. This is the only zombies map in Black Ops 4 that I've beaten over 5 times. Yeah. That says all you need to know, honestly. Yeah, we'll just move on from there. Ancient Evil. So Ancient Evil is, honestly, I think it could be closely tied with 9 as probably the best Black Ops 4 zombies map. You guys already heard me say that anyway. So we are gonna put this guy, I think it's, yeah, we're gonna put it right under Riese. Ancient Evil, the gauntlets are cool concepts for wonder weapons. I definitely don't think they go up on the par with like the bows from VE or the staves from Origins. I don't think they go like nearly on par with that, but they're good. The boss, the fucking the 6-arm dude, I forgot what the 6-arm dude was named. I forgot what he's called, but that's a pretty cool boss. He's actually, he can be a little irritating to kill sometimes, but he's not, again, not the worst thing in the world. Blyfather's return, obviously that pisses me off. You guys know how I feel about that. The map is just beautiful. Like, just the Greek, you already knew that the Chaos story was going to dive deep into Greek mythology, kind of. Greek or Norse mythology. I think it's Greek mythology, right? Yeah, it's Greek mythology. Or it might be Norse. It's one of the two. Ancient mythology. You know that this storyline was going to dive deep into that stuff. And once they released Ancient Evil, I think everybody's hopes just went like through the roof with this. Like, yeah, no, this is going to be one of the best zombies maps of all time. Ancient Evil is fucking beautiful. It's a beautiful zombies map. There's a lot of different like aspects to it that kind of just stand out more than the others. Like a lot of the flaws in this map really aren't just flaws, but they're kind of just things that irritate people or irritate players. Like the skeleton zombies that have like the spears and the shields. That is understandably irritating. Other than that, I really got nothing bad to say about this map. Yeah, I really don't. Like the pack-a-punch process is pretty easy. You just go to whatever that fucking place is called. I can't even think of it off the top of my head right now. But yeah, you just go to that place. Yeah, never mind. I got nothing else to say about this yet. I got fucking, my brain is just killing myself right now. All right, Alpha Omega. Okay, so you guys are gonna be quite disappointed of where I'm gonna put this map. It's gonna be in C, right there. Alpha Omega, I really don't like personally. People shit on it a lot. The boss fight was probably the most like underwhelming part of the map. It's just ugly. It's an ugly version of Nuketown, dude. Like, but there's a lot more things to do, I guess. If you're just looking at Nuketown as it is, and you put it into Alpha Omega, it's expanded. There's the bunker area that you can go through. A lot of different like little side Easter eggs. There's variants of the Rega Mark II, which is probably the worst idea I've ever heard of in my entire life. So yeah, there's that. You can play as either Ultimus or Primus, so it kind of just balances back and forth, I guess, or just rotates. Slight chance you can play like all 4 crew members of one side, like all 4 of Ultimus or all 4 of Primus. Very slight chance of that, but it can happen. Rustmore just gets very fucking annoying when you're trying to do the Easter egg. It's kind of like just, it's almost like slave labor or like just free. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. That's really bad. Yeah, no, Alpha Omega, I really don't got much to say about it. I think I might honestly just like, I might put this map down further. Like, just if we look over this tier list, like at the end of this video, I might just put it back down further. But as of right now, we're going to keep it there, and then we're going to move on to Tag Your Toten, which Tag Your Toten is going to go under Zetsubo. Tag, worst version of Call of the Dead. The Thunder Gun variant, the Tundra Gun, is so ass. The Scoped Wonderwaff is also kind of ass. There's no real boss fight to it. There's just like a it's almost like a trial you have to go through. Like at the end of the Easter egg, once you beat that little trial that's at Golden Pack-a-Punch, the element, I think it's the elemental shard, right? Or just something that spawns, oh, the Vril device. The Vril device spawns a giant like red circle around you, and you have to stay inside that circle until you get all the way up to the laboratory that's all the way up on the mountain side of the map. That can get really irritating, because if you guys have seen my videos on this channel, then you knew I had a hard time trying to fucking do that with Caleb. But we finally did it at one point, and it was so relieving. But yeah, you know what? I really got nothing much to say about Tag. There's a lot of like more bad things, I would say. You're playing as the Victus crew, which that in itself is just a joke. Yeah, it honestly kind of pissed me off to even talk about this map right now, so I'm just gonna move the fuck on. This is D Machine. So D Machine is probably, I'm not the biggest Cold War fan. I hope you guys like understand that right now. I am not the biggest Cold War Zombies fan. I don't know much about it. I've maybe played like a lot of these maps, maybe a handful of like 10 times at the most, except for Forsaken. Forsaken I've maybe played like 3 times at max. That map was not fun. So I'm probably just going to keep these short and sweet for the Cold War Zombies maps. I'm probably just going to rank them based on like how I felt about the map personally. I've never done the Easter eggs on any of them. Firebase Z I almost beat with Caleb. Yeah, I'm just going to base these off of how I feel about like when I first played it, or like how I feel when I replay and stuff. So D Machine, for example, is probably going to go... Yeah, I'll go... Oh, no, not there. Under tag B tier. I don't got much to say about this map. It's another remake of Nocturne and Toten, pretty much. Just with, you have the whole outside area to yourself, and then you have the whole underground area, the underground like lab area. I could say it's a new map, but it's also, if you take the knocked aspect into it, it's not really that new of a map. So that's D Machine. Next, oh my god, I have a certain reason for this, okay? Firebase Z is my least favorite zombies map of all of zombies. There's a bunch of reasons to that. I will explain that later. But if I feel like if I explain it right now, I'm gonna get super fucking pissed off, which I don't need to do that right now. Okay, Mauer to Toten. I played this Cold War Zombies map the most. This is probably the one map I actually like out of Cold War. Why is my phone doing that? Okay, I do think yeah, it's going right here. Mauer to Toten's going above tag. And it's going to be the best Cold War Zombies map on this list. I just have a lot of fun playing it every single time I play. I think it's a very unique map. It has one of the best boss fights in all Cold War, and possibly all of Zombies. You fight Valentina. Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely like the definition of like a high class like mid map almost. So I'm just gonna keep it at that. Again, like, I don't even know how to do most of this stuff on these zombies maps. So at first I feel like I shouldn't rank them, but I'm going to anyways, just because, like, why the fuck not? I will say they missed Outbreak. Outbreak is not on here, but if I did rank Outbreak, it would probably be in here, right between 5 and Alpha. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Outbreak's gonna be right in there. Outbreak is just like, I think Outbreak would be like possibly an A or S tier map if it had PvP. Opinions, man. That's just how I feel about it. Forsaken, probably, yeah, no, this map is kind of dog shit, Loki. I don't want to put it that fucking low. I don't want to put it that low at all, but I'm gonna have to. It's gonna go in fucking. Yeah, it's gonna go in D. It's gonna go under Blood for sure. I don't like Forsaken at all. I play this map maybe 3 times. Oh god, dude, yeah, this is fucking stupid. I guess that's the list. Okay, so yeah, the list is already done. Again, I didn't rank the Black Ops 6 maps because I'm gonna do that once the DLC season's over. These are involved in TranZit, so I'm just going to keep them out. And then, the Giant is just Riese. So, yeah, we'll just keep it at that. But yeah, this is the tier list, ladies and gentlemen. This is definitely the tier list. So, I did say I was going to have 6 S tier maps, but I took Black Ops 6 into play on accident. So, this is going to be the tier list for right now. And then we're going to get to all of the other maps once we get the chance. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the tier list. So in S tier, ranking in order. S tier, we have Mob, Origins, Der Eisendrache, Shadows of Evil, and Gerard Krovi. In A tier, we have 9, Moon, Riese, Ancient Evil, Shangri-La, Call of the Dead, and Revelations. B, we have Dead of the Night, Ascension, Buried, Zetsubo, Mauer, Tag, and D Machine. C, we have 5, Alpha Omega, Classified, Kino, Verrucht, and Noct. The only 2 D tier maps we have are Blood and Forsaken, which there might be more to this. We don't know yet. And then F tier, we have Nuketown, Voyage, TranZit, Die Rise, and Firebase Z. Firebase Z being my worst map of all time. So, let me know what you guys' opinion is on this. Again, this was all a subjective opinion, so do not clown me for putting fucking whatever at whatever spot. So, yeah, but this is the list, guys. So if you did enjoy this video, I would certainly advise you to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this on the channel. But yeah, other than that, just have a great day, y'all. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.